Hey, what's up guys, it's Nick2. Today I was just fumbling around on my Vex trying to optimize a build that is going to not be taking advantage of bleed, just to kind of nerf proof the character for when or if bleed ever does get fixed. And I stumbled across an interaction that allows you to effectively just one-shot any boss. My damage was so high that I, for the first time ever, saw the damage proc total existence failure, which I've never seen. The boss's health disappeared so fast, I'm not even sure I'll be able to show this to you guys properly, as you can see in the clip there. But in that clip, I was kind of min-maxing my damage. I was using a penetrator augment throwing knife, the crit knife, of course, that everybody hates. So I wanted to see how far to the limit could I take this, and does it work on every character? First of all, it does work on every character. And second of all, you basically don't need anything for this to work other than a gun. And then once you have a gun, if you just have like a tiny bit of gun damage on your actual character, it will work. So quickly, I'll demonstrate it. I only have, 25 skill points spent right here, and my points are just like generic gun damage increases, most of which are not actually even being applied. So just some generic gun damage, and then I'm also not going to be using, like I said, the penetrator throwing knife, and I'll just show you guys a UVH5 boss here, which of course means the boss is going to have 350% extra HP. And I'll show you guys how to one-shot the boss, not using any, as far as I'm aware, glitches, bugs, or anything like that. I forgot to actually activate the Encore machine, a little embarrassing there. This is one of the tankiest bosses in the entire game as far as I know, and I'm just going to dump about a full mag in, and then you guys should see that the damage ends up being quite ridiculous considering no skill points, no penetrator knife, whatever. I'll throw that, and there goes the boss. There he goes. And like I said, you can do this on every character. Here is a clip of my friend sadly doing it on his Harlowe. So he does have like a little bit of gun damage, but his character relies on actually stacking up this damage, and he was still able to snap the boss out of existence purely by taking advantage of this interaction. And what's great about this is that there is no gear prerequisite to make this work. Obviously, I did it without any skill points really spent to kind of demonstrate you can do this with a very bare bones character, and it doesn't have to be on any particular character. And you don't need anything specific other than a weapon. You don't need a crit knife. You don't need like min-max enhancements or anything. Obviously, all those things will make it better, and I'll talk about how you can do that afterwards. But real quick, let's talk about how you can actually do this. Keep in mind, I did pretty much just now figure this out, so there's probably a lot of things that I don't entirely understand about what's going on here, but I'll just go over what I know, how to replicate it, and how you can do this yourself. If you find the video helpful, please make sure to drop a like. I've been making a ton of Borderlands content, so any subscriptions would be greatly appreciated. So, what you need, a weapon that has these two things on it. It needs to have Torgue sticky mode via the magazine, and then it also needs to have an alt fire of a taser. I actually have two of these weapons here, and the first one seems to be the best one because this one, the taser only has one round in the mag. So you can see I swapped to my underbarrel taser, and it has one taser, and then that's it. The second one, however, it has 3 tasers in the mag, and the second one seems to do significantly less damage than the first one, at least for the way that this is interacting. So ideally you want to get this on an SMG or an AR, any fast-firing weapon. The SMG is much better because the base damage is higher, and keep in mind I have not tried this on any other weapon type. It is even possible this works with any alt fire plus Torgue sticky. I don't have any other guns to be able to verify that. If that is the case though, I will update it in the comments. So, once you have this gun, what is actually going on here? So, if you've ever used a Torgue sticky gun, basically the way that it works is you apply the Torgue stickies, and then they stay on the mob, and then they either time out after a while, or when you reload, you detonate all of the stickies, and then it does a little bit of damage. This is just very good in general, because you can stack up a whole bunch of stickies, and each sticky is going to increase the explosion damage of the previous one, so you just get a whole bunch of extra damage, and if you never have to reload, you get 5,000 stickies on a guy, and then you reload, and then you blow them all up. But when you blow them all up, typically there is a little bit of a short delay. And I'll show you guys the base damage of them. So if I just shoot like this entire magazine here into this target dummy, and then I let it reload, you can see each Torgue sticky is hitting for, 7,000, 9,000. We got like one proc of a 19,000 right there. Nothing too crazy, pretty standard stuff here. If I don't have skill points and I don't have kill skills active, yada, 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 okay? Now, let's do the exact same thing. So I'm going to shoot an entire magazine into the mob, but right before reloading, I'm just going to swap to my underbarrel taser, shoot it, and then boom, you can see every instance of damage goes up to 300,000. We even got one that went up to the 600,000 mark there. And of course, this is with effectively no gun damage increases on my character currently, other than what I have in the skill tree and like one of my spec nodes. Most of this stuff on Vex is kill skill reliant. So you can get these to hit in for the absolute like 5 to 10 million each if you have a fully maxed out character. I cannot imagine what Rafa would be hitting by taking advantage of this. It would be insane. So that's pretty much all you need. I'm going to be making a video on how to farm out purples most efficiently pretty soon. So be on the lookout for that, because that will be your best chance of getting your hands on one of these weapons. They are fairly rare, and you do need like a specific combination. But again, if you happen to find any SMG that's torque sticky and then it just happens to have any alt fire mode, like maybe you found a shotgun that has a spread launcher. I tried this one with beam tosser. It just like full stop does not work. It does not even apply stickies. But if you were able to somehow get like a spread launcher shotgun with torque stickies, maybe it has something to do with inheriting the base damage of the actual underbarrel thing. But yeah, when it comes to actually using this, one thing I want to mention is that you don't need to actually hit the mob with the taser at all. It's simply just a function of shooting the taser. I can shoot the taser into the sky, and you can see that we still get 300,000 to the 700,000. So it doesn't have to hit the mob, and you barely have to even dump a clip into them. You could probably, with a fully min-max character, shoot like 10 times, swap to the taser, boom, the boss dies, and take advantage of all sorts of damage increases that don't last for very long, such as a crit knife, or a rep kit that gives you increased damage dealt, or you use like a protein cell shield. All of these things combined will give you like, over triple damage. And then if you just happen to have like, I guess we're getting into how you could best min-max this. I do have a enhancement here with the license parts. Underbarrel does increase damage. I guess I can actually test just to double check that that doesn't have any weird effect on it. So, ooh, I just swapped my enhancement and tested it just to make sure that it wasn't randomly this enhancement making it much better. Obviously, this giving you increased underbarrel damage, it might have some interaction. I can't really tell. My stickies are just going to do way more damage because of this class mod anyways, though, because it has so much fire rate and of the magazine size. And having a large mag is really going to impact how much damage you're actually doing with your stickies here. If you get your mag size into the 100s, you're able to shoot 100, like 50% more bullets, and more bullets equals more percentage scaling for the actual stickies. So when you're looking at enhancements, the only thing that should matter is getting, if you got gun mag and SMG mag, that would probably be good. I did do less damage with less magazine size here and not having the Vladov enhancement, but it was not to an amount to where it like doesn't work anymore. It still definitely works. This probably just impacts it a little bit. But I don't have a comparable enhancement to this one in terms of mag size to see how much the additional 50% underbarrel damage is giving me. But just to be sure, you guys could try to find one with that as well. Here's my class mod in case you were curious. It's just giving me some fire rates and some generic damage. But like I said, my friend tried it with a completely different character, different gear entirely, and it still worked perfectly fine. If you're curious about what I would actually run on Vex with this, you don't have to min-max or damage that much in order to enable the boss one-shotting. So again, I would probably still lean towards the Spectres and try to just have those out because I like them for ad clearing. But if you wanted to do an incarnate setup, I would probably do something like this, like 5 grave, 5 grave, grave, some of this stuff. Go down here, get Witchy Trigger Finger and Vibe Check. I'd probably not do the 5 until Leeching Attunement. Then going in here is pretty good for Grave Sustenance and Enchantment. And then maybe you put some points into Blue Tree to get like some Sanguine Fiends. I'd probably go Sanguine Fiends, Idle Hands, Grave Assault, and then Grave Fiends. You probably have enough points to do something like that. And maybe I'd go like, maybe I'm not fully min-max Mortal Terror. Phase Pocket is actually quite good for the Torque Sticky thing, because it does give you a 30% increased mag size, which could help if you are missing some mag size on like your enhancement or something like that. Anyways, that's pretty much going to do it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please make sure to drop a like. Something that I noticed in previous videos, at least one of my other ones, a lot of news sites actually made written articles about it. If any of you guys are watching this and you happen to do that, I would greatly appreciate it if you would link my video in the news sites. Some of them did link the video, some of them didn't, and it felt a little weird having a publication written about me, but then a link not given. I don't know, I just thought that was kind of weird, but I would appreciate that in the future. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoy this, and if anybody does like make a video or anything about it, don't worry about crediting me. It is not that big of a deal. It is just an interesting interaction. Hopefully they patch this, because otherwise you can just abuse this on every single character to instantly delete bosses. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys later.